What is going on, guys? Thank you all so much for tuning in. Sorry for not uploading the past couple weeks. I've been pretty bad about it, but in my defense, I have been very busy. We are in the process of buying a house, so I'll definitely give you guys a video update with that, but we're currently in the process of negotiating and kind of coming up with a price that we're willing to pay and that the buyer will be happy to receive. But also, I went ahead and finally bought a coin scale. That way I can save myself a tremendous amount of time on my route, as well as when I get back home and getting the quarters together. So I'm thinking that should cut the amount of time it takes me to do my route pretty close to in half, because of how much time it does take to count all those quarters, especially in those locations that do have, you know, $100 or $200 or $300 worth of quarters at them. Definitely takes a long time to count those by hand. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Go ahead and collect some of these machines, and I will catch you all in a minute. Here we are at the first stop of the day. This is a auto shop, Hispanic auto shop that is one of my decent locations. Doesn't generally absolutely kill it, but certainly not a bad location. But while I'm going ahead and getting this one all ready to go, I just want to take a really quick minute and thank you all so much. As I'm sure you probably noticed in the beginning of the video, I have finally reached a monetization for YouTube, so that is really surreal. It is just absolutely amazing, and I cannot express how grateful I am to each and every one of you who subscribes to all of my videos and watches them all as well. It just really means so much, and you know, I'm going to be taking some of the money that I'm making from the advertisements, though it's going to be very small right now. I'm going to try to save it up and buy some better equipment. That way I can really upgrade these videos, make them look a lot nicer for you guys, get a really nice recording camera, get some good audio recording equipment as well. Really make sure that everything is just absolutely amazing. So yet again, thank you so much for that, guys. It really does mean a lot. Anyway, so here we are finishing up this location and making sure all the candy is nice and full. Now, as you can see, I generally fill them about halfway. You don't want to fill them so much that the candy doesn't sell before it goes bad. But a mistake I made at the very beginning, especially when I originally bought the gentleman's route, is only filling it up but a little bit, maybe a quarter of the way. And I think it definitely sells a lot better if you fill it up more. So definitely fill up your candy as much as you can, ensuring it doesn't go bad. And here is the coin scale that I mentioned I got in the beginning of the video. Definitely super glad I bought this thing. Ended up taking my route altogether from taking about 6 hours down to only about 3 hours. So it really cut my time in half. So I highly recommend you get one if you haven't. But this location ended up doing, as you can see, about $46. So not great, but definitely not terrible. Here we go. We are now at the next stop for the day. This one is a car wash, and it generally does okay. Not great, but definitely a location worth keeping. I will say that it generally does better in the summertime. I've noticed it's picked up a little bit since the summer than it does in the winter, which makes sense seeing how it is a car wash. And if you guys have a route or some kind of occupation that you need to count a lot of quarters, or really any other coin, I do highly recommend you get one of those coin scales. I have a link in the description if you are interested in buying one. I would never endorse something that I would not be buying myself or am happy with my purchase. So even though it did cost me about $400, and that is quite a bit pricey for what it is worth every penny, and the amount of time it saves me is tremendous. So if you're interested, go ahead and check out the link in the description if you do need something like that. Anyway, back to the route. Go ahead and break out that coin scale I was just talking about to see how much this location made, and go ahead and put the, or first I guess I'm unlocking the coin bank, but go ahead and put on the I guess tray and then zero it out. You can see how quickly this thing counts quarters, and this one ended up having 5150 in about 2 months, but look at how fast that counts it just in a split second. It's great. Now we are at the pizza location that I am sure so many of you are well aware of by now. This is one of my absolutely best locations. This spot makes it into just about every collection video just because it does that well. Go ahead and open it up, and not the best angle there, but you can see it is pretty full. Sorry about the angle, not being able to see all the quarters. Go ahead and dump them in. Now I do pay a commission at this spot, like yet again I'm sure you all know, so have to count them on location before I get out to my car, and that's really where this coin scale comes in handy. Can do it in a couple of seconds rather than taking 20 minutes to count them all out. So go ahead and wipe down this machine. I really like these machines. They're the shooting hoop machines. They're super fun. A quarter per play, spits out a gumball, and you kind of just try to shoot it into the hoop. You don't win anything extra, but it's just kind of fun and interactive to do. Go ahead and fill up this thing. I always try to fill this one up as much as I can because, you know, every once in a while, if I go more than a month without collecting this location, this thing will be really, really close to empty. If even sometimes when I come after just 1 month, if I don't fill it quite to the top, it'll be just about empty. So that is really a great problem to have when you're in this business, especially when you're selling the gumballs here that only cost about 3 cents a piece. I mean, that's just fantastic. I love selling the gumballs and definitely want to be pushing more gumballs at more of my locations overall. Now time to count up and see how much this location made this time around. Saw a little spot on the screen, not really sure it was like that, but it ended up going away and hasn't popped back up since, so that's good. I would have been pretty upset if there was an issue with it that quickly. But yet again, go ahead and pop on the tray, zero it out, and then got to go ahead and dump all the quarters in. Now, don't know what's taking me so long here. Anyway, hit the zero out, and then go ahead and dump in all of the quarters so you can see how much it made. And just look at all that. That is just great. $127.75 selling just a silly little gumballs. I am so happy about that. Anyway, go ahead and take it all out and count out how much I have to give for a commission. Now, one thing about the coin scale as well, you do have to sift through and make sure there's no other different types of coins because it'll miscalculate because it's done by weight. So if you have like 10 nickels in there, it's going to give you the wrong amount in there overall. Now here we are, this is the trampoline park. It was super crowded. There was 2 school buses full of kids in here, and oh my gosh, next time I see that, I'm just going to turn around. I was really a pain to service them with all the kids there coming up and asking for money and asking for free toys. And normally I don't mind that, and I'll give them a quarter or two to use my machine, but when there's about 100 kids in there coming up every 2 seconds to ask for a quarter, I can't give away that many quarters. I wouldn't make a profit. But anyway, go ahead and get all of this weighed up. This has currently, for this collection, had 2 4-way machines and the rack, and collected a whopping $334.50 for 1 month. Now go ahead and count out from another spot. This one was from a Hispanic hair salon. Now this one had been sitting for about 2 months, and I didn't manage to film inside of that one either. I try not to film when it's too busy, and it does slow me down a lot filming, so I try to get most of the locations, but I can't always get all of them. But look at that, $91.50
for 2 months. Definitely not bad. So here we are back home. Look at all those quarters. Got a full peanut M&M jar and then another about half full jar. So go ahead and break out that scale yet again. God, I love this thing. Such a lifesaver, such a time saver. It is just fantastic. So go ahead and see what we totaled out for the whole day. There was a few stops we didn't get to. Ended up collecting $254.50 for that, and then the second one brings us up to $630.50. Look at that. That is awesome.
Alright, and that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and please, as always, remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with a friend. And one more time, thank you all so much for finally getting me to a monetization. It really means a lot, and I will catch you all in the next one.